Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. Listen, I want to tell everyone that social media could be your enemy and it could be your friend. In this case, social media has been my best friend. I'm scrolling social media, particularly of Facebook, and I come across this wonderful brother, Pierre, out of Chicago. And there was some great commonality because we both love house music, but he seems to be deeper in this. So through some messaging and a few phone calls, I'm able to do this interview with the brother today. So Pierre, welcome to the platform, brother. How are you?
Hey, thank you, Kevin. I am doing fantastic.
Excellent.
And it is amazing how you found me.
But you know what I think, though, is once you go to so many house music sites, the algorithms begin to move things around almost as if the universe is speaking to you like, yo, you need to hang with this brother. You need to follow this brother. And so I first was attracted to you because you were doing something under the banner of Go Bang magazine. Yeah. So I want to hold that thought because I want to jump into something that is so crazy. One of my greatest movies was Negotiator. So as I'm reading your bio, you said that you had a small part in The Negotiator. Talk to me about that, man.
Yeah. In a previous lifetime, I was an actor.
Yes.
And in The Negotiator, that's one of 5 movies I'm in. But in that particular movie, that was shot here in downtown Chicago.
Yes.
And the scene, it was a very small scene, was when he was up in the high-rise building.
Yes.
And the police had the helicopters at the window and stuff, and he's on the inside.
Yes.
And I'm part of the crowd downstairs, and down on the sidewalk, and we're pointing up, and we're like, "Oh no, what's going on up there?" You know, you got to pump it up.
Yeah.
So that's one scene that I was in that one. Okay. Another one is when he was inside an apartment building, and they were trying to negotiate with him and talk with him, and then they blew the house up, blew the windows up to the place where he was where he was inside.
Yes.
And all the glass exploded all out on us because we were in the house. We were supposed to be like watching the house as the police do all of this stuff. And all the glass exploded all over us. But I think the other people that were with us, they weren't convincing. Some people was giggling and laughing, so they cut that scene out. They just took it out. They still blew the house up, but they didn't show us.
So that is one of my favorite movies because I love Samuel Jackson. So my homework tonight is to go back, watch The Negotiator specifically for those 2 parts, man. I know they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are fun. Those are very, very fun.
Yeah.
But like I say, that's in another lifetime. I never understood that line until I got older. When I was younger, I heard people say, "Oh, that was in another a lifetime ago."
Yeah,
a lifetime ago. But now I understand it.
But that's several lifetimes because as I'm reading your bios, like, when do you have time to sleep, brother? Like,
I know that's right. I know. I'm one of the hardest men working.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I just thank you for just gracing the platform, man. So
I appreciate it.
Let's just jump from the beginning of how I met you. So what is Go Bang Magazine all about?
Okay, Go Bang Magazine
is
a magazine that I founded in April of 2020. You know, the pandemic was official in March of 2020.
Yes.
So my first issue was April of 2020.
Wow.
I had been wanting to start my own magazine for years.
Yes.
Now, prior to this, my first job, I was working with SoulTrain.com. Soul Train wasn't on the air, but they still had a website.
Okay.
And I got hooked up, and that was my first journalism job, professional journalism job, was with the Soul Train brand.
Yes.
And then that lasted for maybe about 2 years. And then I worked with the Chicago Defender newspaper, which is another historic outlet.
Yes.
And then I worked with them for about a year or two. And then I worked with N'Digo Magazine, which is a famous magazine / newspaper here in Chicago, run by a black female. And that's another iconic magazine. I worked with them for a while. At one point, all of those ended.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, what am I going to do now?
Yes.
Now, in that time, I built a name and a reputation and a brand by working with all of those outlets.
Yes.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own magazine because people know who I am now.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's focused on all the aspects, art, entertainment, media, business, all the aspects. But by me being a serious person that loves house, a lot of the people that I interview are somehow associated with house music or the arts.
Okay.
And so go ahead.
Yeah, let me stop you right there. Because you love house, let's take a break.
Okay.
And I also understand from your bio that you were a dancer.
Yeah, I still am. Now that's this lifetime. I'm still doing that.
Wait. So you're currently a dancer and doing your magazine.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah.
So tell me first about the love of house music, because I want to hear about that first. How did you get involved with house music?
Okay, I was born to a father who was a DJ and a singer.
Okay.
Which I took on those two aspects. And my mother plays piano.
Wait. You and a DJ too?
And I play keyboard.
Oh my God. Okay.
And a poet.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah. So let me stick with what you asked.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I grew up with parents that are DJs, singers, and piano player.
Yes.
So music was always around my house. My father threw parties every weekend. We had parties. And so I grew up hearing all of the cuts, which was, the Diana Ross, the disco era.
Yeah.
You know, and so as I got older, my brother started to DJ. He's exactly 5 years older than me.
Yes.
So he started DJing. I was around 9. So he had to be around 13?
13, 14.
Like 13, 14 years old when he started. So he started DJing, and he would go DJ clubs. I would help carry the crates. That was all I could do. But I was getting into all of these 21 and older clubs because I'm with him, because he's the DJ.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to a lot very young. And so as time went on, he would DJ, and then he had it at home. People come over and listen to it at home.
Yes.
And then when he would leave, I would go in there and I'd turn it on. I taught myself how to mix. And then he would come home, I cut it off and run to my room, and he'll feel it, he'll touch it, and he'll see the equipment is hot. And be like, boy, I told you quit messing with my son. And so I did that over and over and over to where I learned how to DJ, and I became quite good at it.
Yes.
So now it's about, so this is about 79.
Yes.
77. Yeah, so it's about 79, the year, 1979 now. And so from that point on, he allowed me to DJ at the clubs that he was DJing at as well.
Wow.
So as that went on, DJs started to buy drum machines. And this I was only DJing like with tape decks and one turntable. You know what I mean?
I know that one. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. And so DJs started making their own music. And so around 1990, I made a house song. So remember I told you I write songs and I play keyboard.
Okay.
I did my own house vinyl, 12-inch vinyl, called Mind Groove.
Okay.
And that was my dab into contributing to the house music genre. But along the way, like my brother went to Lynn Bloom. He was friends, classmates with Steve Hurley.
Yes.
Father Keith lived in my building. So I grew up with all of these famous DJs. And at the time, they weren't famous. But as time went on, I was like, man, I grew up with them. And we still cool to this day.
Wow.
And so from that point on, I became just engrossed with a house and the house culture.
Now, what was your DJ name?
Pierre. Now, that's a combination of player and Pierre. You like that?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, Pierre.
Pierre. DJ Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre is in the house. Yeah. And I was the DJ that gets you up and leaves you dead on the dance floor.
I know that's right. Now, where did the dancing come from, and how do you currently do that now? Okay,
now the way that started, I've always danced. My whole family dances.
Yes.
And so I always danced at parties.
Yes.
I did that for a long time behind the turntable.
Yes.
And then when house and hip hop merged, or when hip hop started to come out, this was around 91, 92. Around 91, 92, hip hop started taking over, especially here in Chicago. I don't know about everywhere else, but here in Chicago, it looked like house was going underground and nobody wanted their house no more. Hip hop was coming out. I stopped DJing.
Okay.
And from that point on, I got on the other side of the turntable and hit the dance floor.
Okay, okay.
And I've been dancing from that point on. Now, when house really got popular, like at the Chosen Few picnics, they have different house picnics in the summer here every weekend throughout the summer. I hit the dance floor. And people knew me as a DJ, but now they said, hey, you dance too? And I got recognized because I dance. I can dance for 12 hours straight. What? I can dance non-stop. And usually when I get to a party, the DJs say, Pierre, go get up on stage. Carl, get up there. Because I motivate the crowd. When I start, people just stop and look at me like they're looking at television. And I enjoy dancing, and I express the music, and I'm gone. And so one time a DJ said, now, you know, my name is Pierre Andre Evans.
Yes.
So someone said, hey, y'all, guess what? Andre Pierre is here, the dancing machine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? And they're like, and I said, man, you know my name is Pierre Andre, not Andre Pierre. He's like, yeah, but your dancing name is Andre Pierre, the dancing machine. And then he got on the mic and saying, you all know, if Andre Pierre's at your party, the crowd said, you know what's going on. I said, oh, God. They named me. And from that day on, I just took that on.
Wow.
And still, to this day, I dance. And mostly here in Chicago, I dance just on my own.
Yes.
But then through social media, I'm known elsewhere. And I'm hired sometimes to come to parties, to clubs, as a dance motivator. And that just keeps the people dancing. You know what I mean? And so I still do that to this day, and I'm about to be 57 years old.
What? And you know what? I've got I'm going to be 59 in May, but I've got the patented two-step that I stand by, brother. Oh,
there you go. Whatever works.
I'm trying to tell you, but there's a brother in Trenton named Sky Dancer.
Okay.
And I'll tag you in some of his videos. As I want you to tag me in yours so I can share it with my friends.
Okay, I'll do that.
But this brother can dance, so I think that he epitomizes what I would dance if I could dance. So
there you go.
I'm always champion Sky Dancer. So Sky, if you hear this or when you do hear this, I'm giving you a great shout out, brother. But
go ahead, dance, brother, dance.
Yeah, but what do you like about house music, though, man?
What I like about house music is the love that is at the center of it.
Yes.
And it expresses itself in various ways.
Yes.
The door to house is open to any and everyone, regardless of their age, sexual identity, race, anything, political belief, anything.
Yes.
And the way that I think a lot of people really were attracted or the reason why they were really attracted to house in its beginnings, like in 80, 81. It was a time where a lot of people, a lot of families were getting divorces. Now, I don't know if you know or not, but dynasty had a lot to do with society. People was really fighting, just like Who Shot JR and all that. TV to really affect the world.
Yeah.
On Dynasty, what's her name? The whatever, Alexis divorced Blake. The wife, they got a divorce.
Yes.
And that opened the floodgates to people getting divorced.
Wow.
I'm going to show you how this ties in. Even my family got a divorce in 83.
Okay.
And a lot of children were children of divorce. Gotcha. And they needed love.
Yes.
And in the club, everybody in there just about were children of divorce. And then here is I love you. Everybody called each other family.
Yes.
And so that was a family support system that really bonded everybody. And to this day, including yourself, I'm sure, a lot of people that you went to high school with, you still see if you go to the parties now. Everybody is still together and everybody calls each other family. So it's the love.
Yeah, but that's a little different for me.
Yeah.
Because so my family always stayed together, right?
Good.
But how we made the transition was coming out of the disco era.
Yeah.
We had to make that choice. Do we go into electronic house music, or do we go to Philadelphia? Because I'm only like 30 minutes from Philadelphia, and do we get into like R&B, deeper
R&B, sound of Philly,
or rap?
Right.
That wasn't my thing. So me and a couple of fellows, we were always New York, North Jersey, man. So house just became our thing, and for us, it allowed us to express our individuality, right?
Absolutely.
Because the other stuff seemed to be so commercialized and so routine, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And we would go to the Zanzibar and just zone out for like 6, 7, 8 hours, man. You had no care in the world.
Yeah.
And it was nothing like the sound systems back then, because they was just thumping, and that was your flow, man. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, house takes you away.
Absolutely.
You are definitely in the zone. You are definitely in the zone.
Absolutely.
And growing up also, I grew up going to the power plant with Frankie Knuckles.
Yes.
And the music box with Ron Hardy.
Yes.
And those are probably the two. I skipped going to sock hops and stuff while my friends in high school were going to sock hops.
Yes.
I was getting into the power plant and the music box. So I grew up with those two pioneers, big time pioneers of house music, at least club owners.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful experience. Like I said, that music, you could feel it through when the bass beats, you could feel it through your whole body.
Absolutely.
You know, and that was just, like you said, the freedom to express yourself and escape that it gives you is just what's the word I'm trying to say? Uncomparable.
Uncomparable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All the above.
Now, this is a touchy subject right now. Where did house really begin?
Okay. So legend has it. Legend has it. See, it's two ways to look at it. This is what I would say.
Yes.
The term house music was coined here in Chicago.
Yes.
And as they say, it came from the club called Warehouse.
Yes.
Frankie's Club, Frankie Knuckles Club.
Yes.
And it would be, the reason it was called that because it was the songs that you heard at the Warehouse. Because Frankie played his own type of stuff.
Yes.
That you didn't just hear on the radio or at regular clubs. A lot of times he made his own songs.
Yeah.
You know, remixes of songs. And Frankie Knuckles himself is from New York.
Yes.
But in New York, they weren't playing the same songs that he was playing here in Chicago.
Yes.
You know, and so I was being a Chicagoan, and here at the time, I would still say that house became house as it is called now, because prior to that, they were playing disco songs.
Yes.
And the DJs here in Chicago started making their own tracks. As I was saying, like when I did my Mind Groove song.
Yes.
That song, that was when DJs started buying drum machines, and Jesse Saunders made the first house song, and printed it. Yep. Had it on print, the first press, and that was in '84. This is the 40th year of house. This is the 40th year of house.
Yes.
And so I would say those songs that they started creating would be the house songs. Any others were disco songs like Diana Ross and Teddy Pendergrass and all that. Those aren't house songs, even though they consider under house. They originally were R&B or disco songs. Mm-hmm. So as far as creating new music under the category of house, that started here in Chicago. I rest my case.
Okay, now here's my take on it.
Go ahead.
Here's my take on it. And I said this on one of my pages.
Yeah.
I talked about origin and I talked about beginnings. And so in my mind, this is how I was satisfying both, right? So the origin of house begins in New York because Humphreys. I'm sorry, not Humphrey, Knuckles.
Tony Humphrey or
Knuckles. Knuckles and Larry Levan were friends.
Correct.
And so when they would hang out together, they would, play music together. And so when the opportunity availed itself for him to go to Chicago, he went to Chicago. Thus, the beginnings of house music. So I give credit to both, but it all starts with Larry Levin or Larry Levan, right? So that's so that's why I say origin and beginning.
Okay, I hear you on that point. Yeah. But at the beginning, it wasn't house; it was still disco.
Yeah, but again, but it still comes to Chicago, and he makes it what it is while he's in Chicago. So I call that the beginnings. But the origins is really New York. Larry Levin, in all the he was in the bathhouses playing disco and playing his own music in the bathhouses for some of those white club owners.
Okay. Now, where I see the difference is that's still disco. I'm separating disco from house. House is when DJs started to make their own sounds to emulate the difference is these are new songs being created.
No. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, but notice what I said. No. I said origins in the beginning, so I'm giving credit. I'm giving
credit. Them both.
Yeah, I'm giving you credit for the beginnings because that's the new sound coming out of Chicago.
Yeah.
I got you. But,
okay, got you. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you on that.
That's all.
Okay, cool.
We were saying house heads don't ever argue.
Right.
But in this case, we're not going to even have a dance off because you're going to win every time, brother. You're going to win every time. But
I hear you, man. It's all good. It's house and the house music culture is a combination of so many different things.
Absolutely.
And so many different people.
Absolutely. Yes. Now for me, I found, and again, this is it's touchy, and we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
House music, and again, how people in my community heard about house music was it came on WBLS.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Larry Levin, sometimes giving his playlist to the DJs at WBLS. So that's how people like me, heterosexuals, that's how we got to know what was playing because BLS was playing this, right?
Right.
So we have to really talk about the homage of the real plight of music. That was a music of protection. That was a music of inclusion, but it was people who had that alternative lifestyle.
Right.
But so as we are 40 some years in its celebration, we just embrace each other for the house music. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all.
I just wrote an article for Go Bang. Like less than 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yes.
And it was entitled "The Black and Brown Gay Community's Influence in the Formation of House." Now, what that is...
No, but slow down again. And give me the title again.
The Black and Brown Gay Community Influence in the Formation of House.
Now, let me stop you. Why do you say influence? We were the innovators.
Exactly. Okay. But I put in influence.
Got you.
To keep it sort of neutral.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And then once you read the article,
yes,
then it goes into deeper aspects of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But that is where the house started.
Yes, sir.
And then it overflowed into the heterosexual community.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it is what it is.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, man. Come on.
Absolutely. So that's the article that I just wrote maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And this was touching on that topic, and that's why I brought that up.
No, this is good. Now, the other thing you talk about journalism. So how strong has journalism been in your life, and when did you have a chance to practice journalism when you were dancing and acting and DJing?
I've always I grew up in the gifted program in school.
Got you.
So I was the smart kid. I was cool as heck.
Yeah.
But I was still smart too. I kick it with the nerds and I kick it with the players too.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always had a knack for writing and and reading.
Yes.
So I started off in creative writing classes all through grammar school, and then in high school, I attended the Kenwood Academy, which is also AKA House Academy, because that's what a lot of DJs. It's here in Hyde Park, Obama's neighborhood.
Yes.
And that high school was full of house people when house was peaking.
Wow.
And I was on the journalism. I was on the newspaper, Kenwood Kaleidoscope. That was my first time actually being a journalist, was in high school, and I was there from 81 to 85.
Yes.
And so then I always wrote poetry. And then as a kid growing up, I used to write plays, and my friends come over, and I'd be like, here's your line. So they're like, oh, not again, Pierre. You know what I'm saying? I'd be action, go, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been writing and being creative with the pen all my life.
Yes.
And so I've always, and if there's things that you like to do, you make time for it.
Absolutely.
And so I've always made time to write songs, because my poetry turned into songwriting, because they basically the same, just put it to music.
Wow.
And so I've always made time for that. You know, at one point, I worked for 10 different magazines at once. And listen, I did that for about 3 years, and people was like, yeah, how you do this?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know how I'm doing it. This week I'm writing for this one. Next week I'm writing for that one. Today I'm doing 3 stories for 3 different companies. On this day, I was working with a company in London, Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, New York. I was like, this was like around 2011 through about 2013.
Wow.
I was working for 10 companies at once.
Wow. Just writing.
just writing, and getting paid.
That's key too. That's key. Yeah. Wow. So,
per article.
So now let me ask this question. When do you take your love for house music to the next level and say, okay, I'm going to start going to, say, the chosen few outlets?
Picnic.
Yeah.
I think in 1990.
Okay.
The chosen few. Do you know how the chosen few picnic formed? Because there was something before.
I have no idea, but I do know.
Okay.
2 things. One, I need to get there, and then 2,
absolutely,
it is the oldest outdoor festival in terms of house music in the country.
Yeah, in the country, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the members, Andre Hatchett, and his brother Tony Hatchett.
Yes.
They used to have parties in their backyard.
Yes.
So it went from a backyard house party to then they took it to behind the Museum of Science and Industry, which is a museum here in Chicago that's on the lakefront. And then it went to that because it was more rooms and in the backyard.
Yes.
And it evolved from the little party behind the museum, family party, to the Chosen Few picnic. So that's how it started. Those two people, the Hatchet brothers, Tony Hatchet, Andre Hatchet, was the foundation of how the Chosen Few Picnic started. And now in 1990, that was the first year that they had the Chosen Few Picnic. And from then till now, it has grown up to like 40,000, 45,000 people. And it's evolved. At one point, it was just a one-day event. And then they tried, I don't know what year it was, but they tried to make it a festival, a weekend festival.
Yes.
And they had Gospel House one day, Stepping another day, and it was too much. Everybody was like, no. Let's just keep it the Chosen Few house picnic. And so that only lasted, I think, a year or two. And then it reverted back to the original one day, start at 8 o'clock in the morning to around, I think, 8 o'clock at night or something like that, 8 or 9 at night. It's an all-day event. It's all ages. Yes. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. People schedule their vacations across the world to be here. Yeah. 4th of July weekend. It's usually the 4th of July weekend on a Saturday.
Gotcha.
And I went. I haven't been in a while, but I went from the beginning all the way up to maybe about 2015, 16, 17, something like that.
Got you.
The last time I was there, Obama was still president, and it was one of their reunions. I think it was like their 25th anniversary or something like that. And at that time, I was working for Soul Train.
Yes.
And that got me backstage passes.
What?
And next thing you know, I was on the stage dancing. I had to do it.
I know that's right.
And so I was out there, and it was like, you supposed to be the journalist covering this story. What is you doing out there dancing? I'm like, Andre Pierre and took over,
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful feeling to look out and see an ocean of people. People just for blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks. There's people everywhere.
Yes.
It was a good feeling. So I can imagine how they feel when they do it every year.
Now, are you going this year, man?
This year I probably will go because, like I said, I haven't been in a while.
Got you.
And it changed. It used to be free, and then once it became a city event.
Yes.
That means that, like the Taste of Chicago, and we had a jazz festival and stuff like that. It used to be an independent event.
Gotcha.
But then once it became a city-sponsored event, they got sponsors, and they got then they charge because it's expensive to throw something that big. First of all,
I can imagine.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people quit going because they started charging.
Okay.
And so some came back, some didn't. And it's a beautiful experience. I recommend everybody to attend it, whatever age you are, from kids, because the kids are there too, babies, even babies. It's kid friendly. It's family friendly.
I can imagine, but the ears, man, you got to put headphones over those kids' ears.
Well, it's the park that they have it in is huge. It's huge, so you don't have to be close to the speakers. You could be a block away, still in the park, and still hear the music. Well,
I'm going to be up close just in case you on the stage, brother. Oh, man.
There you go. But, absolutely.
But I'm going to need you to go this year, right, and take exclusive footage and videos and pictures that you and I can share, brother. Wow.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man.
That sounds good.
So what do you think are some of the challenges in keeping house music going? Do you think house music is dying?
I don't think house music will ever die.
Okay.
I think our generation, you and I are both in the same generation, and we are the founding age generation of house music.
Absolutely.
So a lot of us are getting older and passing, and not enough people are teaching or passing on the DJing aspect of continuing house. So there are some, and those are the ones that I think they're little young teenage guys and females that are DJing, that are keeping it alive, and they're DJing for people our age as well as their peers.
Absolutely.
So with that going on, I think house will continue on. But house is also evolving.
Yes.
And it's different versions of house. I heard some hip hop type. It's not hip hop house. It was house music. It was like EDM music.
Mm-hmm.
But the girl that was rapping it was one that was doing the vocals was like rapping it with a hip hop tinge to her. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was, and I was like, okay, if this is what the new people they still trying to work with it, they're just doing house their kind of way.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's going to always evolve, but I don't think it's ever going to die. It's here to stay.
Got you. Now,
what you think?
I'm interviewing you. Don't ask me.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just messing with you. I think you're spot on, man.
Okay.
One of the things that I would so for me, the greatest challenge is like house music has always been to me seemingly underground, right?
Yeah.
And I think because it carries that underground motif, it's hard for us all to get together collectively. We still have this individual or individuality to us, right? So I'll give you, for instance, right? When hip hop celebrated 50 years of hip hop, right? I'm like, man, these jokers, they actually really came together.
Yeah.
But house music, why can't Chicago and New York and Jersey and Philadelphia and Baltimore, why can't we get together and have a house music award ceremony?
Yeah, I agree.
But I think because we're so individualistically designed, it's not going to happen, bruh.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And that's terrible. That's terrible.
And I think overall, collectively, if we could do that, we could see a greater rate of survival or greater potential for survival, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing too, because I teach entrepreneurship. I am an entrepreneur.
All right.
And so my thing has always been, at some point, let's stop the enjoyment, but also let's get a bite of this apple. And a lot of the venues that we play in, we don't own.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that I'm also trying to change, because, a lot of these DJs, they've got huge followings, 10, 20, 30,000, 40 people, if not more. And what would it look like if they were to say to everybody, I want you to pay $10 to get in, but then put $10 in this pot, because in a year from now, we're going to own this space and we can really control our own destiny.
Yeah. I love that idea.
So so that's one thing that I'm working on. But off record, offline, I will share with you something else that I'm working on. And certainly, man, I would love to collaborate with you on it, because journalism. I just write because I have to, and I write and I write very little.
Okay. Let's definitely collaborate.
I do more talking than I do writing, so I stay in my own lane. But so for me, that's where I am, right?
Yeah.
Although I'm producing house music, I'm always aware of what's the next iteration for me, and what's the next iteration for house music. When do we become owners, right?
Yeah, that's the question.
When do we? Because I just interviewed a brother about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't drop his episode yet, but his name is Kevin Hedge. And he used to own the Shelter in New York City. And so him and I are at the same space of talking about what does it take to have black and brown folk who love house that control more of our destiny, right? Because a lot of times when we do these venues, like on cruise ships, in hotels, in islands, we don't own any of that.
Right. That's right. Making somebody else money.
Exactly. Yep. So what we've got to do is stop this individualistic thought, and on certain aspects become collective, so we can all, because here's the thing. What would it look like, right? And you heard it first, so can't nobody steal this idea. If there was a house music association. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Almost like AARP. And we get like 100,000 people to sign up. We give them a credit card or credit card-ish thing, and you go to Holiday Inn, you go to the Hyatt, and now you would get discounts, because what we're doing, we're leveraging 100,000 people to be a part of your business. And because they're going to be a part of your business, they get a discount, just like AARP.
Get a discount.
You know?
Yeah.
Or if you're 55 years old and you show your ID, you get 10% off your coffee and donuts and Danish, right?
Right.
See, that's the kind of collectivity that we need to marshal in the resources, right? Because I see every year, particularly in the colder months, there's a house music festival on a cruise ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
They ain't giving none of those brothers or sisters money back. We paying the party on their ship and they just laughing.
Right. All the way to the bank.
All the way to the bank. Because I'm like, come on, man. What? Yeah. I mean, I like party, but now let's party and let's house music for a purpose, man. Right?
Yeah. I agree with that.
And then here's the other thing too. If you want to talk about the origins of the age of house music, most of us are between. When I did the last event, I was just roughly looking around the floor, right?
Yeah.
The average age was between 55 to 75.
Right.
You hear me?
That's what I said. We dying off.
Yeah, 55 to 75.
Yeah.
There were some people that were 50, some were under 40, and there were like one or two like in their late 30s.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, between 55 and 75, a lot of those folks are either working as consultants, they retired, they're traveling, so they've got all this disposable income.
Yeah.
Let's leverage that.
Yeah.
You know, but nobody is thinking about leveraging that, but they're thinking about individually, let's just do a party, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all you're left with is memories. Where's the brick and mortar that we can leave for the next generation?
Absolutely.
That's, you know, so yes, I'm partying, but I'm really trying to amp up my speed and my thinking so that I can have this voice to say, you know what? I've done great productions. Trust me with your money so we can do a venue.
Yeah.
You know,
that
so that when you say you go in the club, say you go in the club, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I am an owner. It's black owned. I'm going to support that.
Yeah.
Right? Because black folks, you know, you go on Facebook, man, black folks, we all over the world.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so we are creating wonderful personal memories for ourselves because we've got the disposable income, but ain't nobody saying collectively, let me do a hotel that's black owned here.
Yeah. And the house community is huge.
It's huge, man, and diversified. So that
right.
Was it. So you and I are going to talk offline about that, man.
Yeah,
what?
I want to.
You know, but man, so in terms of your magazine, Go Bang, right?
Uh-huh.
Who are some of well, first of all, how do you go about interviewing your people for their magazine?
Okay.
Yes.
I started off interviewing people and recording it.
Yes.
And come back and transcribe it. This is before podcast.
Yes.
And that didn't work. I did one interview that way. My first interview, I did it that way.
Yes.
And then when I had to come back and transcribe a 30-minute conversation.
Yes.
Oh, it was too much. I had to, Pierre, then hit pause.
Yeah.
I think that I should do this, hit pause.
Yeah.
I said, oh, Lord, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I'm never doing this again. So what I do now is I email you.
Yes.
And it's all done through email.
Okay.
I introduce the magazine. I give you instructions on how the process is. I'll send you the questions.
Yes.
You submit. You got a week to submit the answers back to me.
Yes.
You forward me photographs with the photo credits.
Yes.
You send me all of your contact information, social media, any links, YouTubes, and anything you want people to know.
Yes.
Send all that back to me, and then I post it to my magazine and call it a day.
Wow. I love it, man.
It's easy.
Yeah,
it's easy. I had to find it easy. Work smart, not hard.
And this is
and
this is easier for me because I don't write.
Right. Yes. So it's all being taken care of itself.
Absolutely. So once this is done, I'm going to send it to my man. He's going to do the outro, the intro, and we will schedule the time to get it released, brother. But when we do get it released, I'm going to send it to you so you can so we can share it with the world, man. And then at some point, I'm really trying to work with another studio so that I can do the podcast, but I can do it I can either do it live or tape, but I can also do with the video, right?
Okay, that sounds good, man.
So who are some of the famous people that you've interviewed so far for Go Bang magazine?
Well, for Go Bang and for I wrote a book. I'm an author too. That's it. Now, but you like, okay.
Like, what can't this brother do, right? Now,
the only thing I can't do is draw.
Okay.
Now, people always say that. What don't you do? I can't draw.
No.
Now, that's
Pierre,
it.
Can you cook?
Yeah, I cook too.
So
Chef Pierre.
So you may have a restaurant coming soon.
That's a little down the line.
Okay, all
That'll
right.
be in another lifetime. You know. But yeah, between in between Soul Train and starting my magazine, I wrote a book called Inside the Minds of Entertainers.
Okay.
And this is where I hooked up with 22 celebrities and asked them 10 thought-provoking questions that revealed an insightful look into their psyche. The questions, let me run through those quickly, are what is the purpose of life?
Yes.
What is your purpose in life? What is a soul/spirit? Yes. Please describe your soul spirit. Yes. If you believe, how would you describe a higher power? How would you describe America's current political state? What can be done to improve world race relations? What is your outlook on the future of mankind? And if you believe in an afterlife, please describe what it is. Those type of questions are not usually asked because people stay away from politics and religion.
Yes.
But I found 20 people that wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
And I used the experience of working with Soul Train, where I met a lot of celebrities because everybody wanted to get interviewed by Soul Train. So they would come to me. I didn't even have to search out. So I met a lot of people. Some of the people that I interviewed for my book was Alan King of the Chosen Few DJs.
Yes.
The comedian B. Cole.
Yep.
There's a singer named Bobby Hutton. He was on the first episode of Soul Train.
Yes.
The father, Cuba Gooding Sr. I interviewed him 2 weeks before he died. So this is one of his last interviews.
Wow.
And I dedicated the book to him, and he wanted to take me on tour and do a tour with him and his singing group to promote my book. He was about to produce me and promote me 2 weeks before he died.
Wow.
Cinda Williams, she's from Mo Better Blues, Spike Lee movie. She was the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Williams, the comedian.
Yes.
Jackie Taylor, she was in it's called a Cooley High movie. She was one of the actresses in there. She's from Chicago, from Cabrini Green, and now she owns the only black-owned theater in the United States. It's called the Black Ensemble Theater.
Yes.
Let's see, who else? Linda Clifford, she sings the house song, You're a Runaway Love. You ever heard that song?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay,
and you a singer too, huh?
I am a singer too. Yes, I am. For real, I am.
Oh man!
And then Lawrence Hilton Jacobs from Welcome Back, Carter. The one that Hi There. You know the black tall one.
And also Cooley. He was from Cooley High too.
And Cooley High as well.
Yeah.
The guy that sang "Got a High House," Curtis McLean.
Yeah.
I interviewed him. Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers.
Yes.
All these people I interviewed, and it's all from working with those media outlets. And I said, well, damn, I know all these people. What can I do with this? So I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm writing a book. Some people were like, all of those are the ones that were open to discussing religion, politics, and they didn't care.
Yeah.
But others were saying, like, am I getting paid for this? And I'm like, no, I just want to interview you for part of my book.
Yeah.
But I ain't getting paid. I want to do it.
Wow.
And so all these others were like, I got mine, Pierre. You doing good.
Yeah.
Let me help you get yours. You ain't got to give me nothing.
Yeah.
And so
that's what's up.
It was a beautiful experience,
Yeah.
And so those are some of the celebrities. Eric Monte, the one that created Good Times, Cooley High.
Yeah.
Welcome Back. Yeah. What else you do? What's Happening?
Yeah.
And the Jefferson. I'm good friends with him.
Who just recently got credit for it.
Yes. Now, that's a long story.
That's crazy. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Norman Lear.
Yeah.
has been taking credit for all this time.
Yep.
Eric Monte took him to court back in the day, and they settled for $1 million and 1% sales on a DVD, and that's all he gets. And so and it's over. You can't take him back to court. That was his settlement.
Wait,
you get $1 million. You get $1 million, and you get 1% of DVD sales. Eric Monte, goodbye, and that was that. So the royalties now are still going to Norman Lear. It's settled and it's over. Currently, Eric Monte is suffering from Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And he's had several strokes.
Yes.
He can barely communicate verbally. He can write, but he can't really talk. And he's living in a home, like a rehab facility.
Yes. And
he's barely making it. They do several GoFundMe funds for him every so often, every couple of years or something like that. He's barely holding on to life. And with that $1 million that he received, he had a play that he wanted to produce.
Yes.
He used that whole $1 million to produce this play.
Yes.
And nobody came. And so he lost his money. He was homeless, living on the streets of Atlanta and California, stuff like that. So it's a real sad story. It's no happy ending because he's still in this home, can't talk, and broke.
And
that's sad.
That's extremely sad. And so you mean none of the big boys from our entertainment, sports will take this story on?
Nope.
Wow.
No, he's just there. He's just there. Yep.
Wow.
And I became personal friends with him.
Yes.
Through a friend that I have here in Chicago that introduced me to him. They both grew up in Cabrini Green. And he reached out to him and Eric Monte. That's not his real name. That's his stage name.
Yeah, yeah.
They were friends. And he introduced me to Eric Monte. And then we became friends. And then when I was working with this company that's a division of Soul Train, we did a Lifetime Achievement Award dedicated to him. We all went to Vegas. We hung out for the whole weekend.
Yes.
And from that point on, me and him became good friends. So I never thought growing up as a child, the person that wrote Good Times, the Jeffersons, what's happening? We friends now. I never would have dreamed that ever in my life.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Wow. Now I want to take a break real quick and just ask this question. Have you ever been to New York or New Jersey?
Oh, yeah. New York is my second home. I used to go before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Every year around my birthday, which is April 19th, or the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
So I stayed in New York. Now, Jersey, I've never been to. I want to go to.
So you've never been like across the George Washington Bridge?
Okay.
No. Because you're only like 5 minutes away. Okay, from North.
I didn't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I studied New York before I got there. So when I got there, I knew it like I was in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So but I don't know nothing about Jersey. I wouldn't know nothing. So I definitely want to go though.
Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna invite you down to Trenton to see some of what we do on Sundays at the house music event, right? And then you can go back up north. You can go back up North Jersey and New York. But you got to come.
That sounds good. I accept.
Absolutely. Come bring all that Go Bang magazine energy here, brother. That's all right. But listen,
absolutely.
Now, now those questions that you are asking people, I'm going to ask you some of those questions.
Yeah, that's cool. You gonna flip the script.
Absolutely. So now, do you believe in a higher power?
Absolutely, I do believe in a higher power. I believe this world is too beautiful and incredible to just be a fluke.
Got you.
And I can feel the power. I talk to the power. It works.
Okay. What do you think the afterlife looks like, feels like?
The afterlife. Now, I would say, I don't know. I think I'm not even sure if there is an afterlife, but if it is, I think it's a place with God. I think it's a place where all spirits, they call it home.
Yes.
I say it's a place of love, joy, happiness, harmony,
Okay.
I think we return to spirit. And spirit, just like light, just like energy. So I think we just go back to the source.
Okay.
And everything is peaceful and cool.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not sure if it is afterlife. So in case it's not, I'm living this life to the fullest.
Listen, from reading your bio, you've done that, bro. You've led several lifetimes for several people, bro. That's why if I ever get tired, I can just click on your Facebook page. Like, damn, he doing what? Okay, I feel energized, bro. I gotta get to moving.
I know that's right. It keeps me young, though. It keeps me energetic.
What keeps you dancing? What?
Yeah. 57. Go ahead.
Politically, where are your views politically?
I'm very liberal.
Okay.
I say, I guess I would lean more with, if you choose between Democrat and Republican, I would say more Democrat, I guess. But I'm very liberal.
Okay.
I'm into, as long as you're not hurting anybody, and as long as nothing negative is coming from choices, do you?
Yep.
That's me.
Okay. I respect that, man. I respect that. And so I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna modify this question.
Okay.
What are your 3 greatest attributes?
Okay. Number 1 is communication.
Yes.
Communication is the key to everything.
Yes.
Relationships, politics, everything. I would say that. Empathy.
Okay.
Able to relate to people and feel what they're feeling, which in turn, if you let it, allows you to give them what they need. And third is joy.
Okay.
And with joy, happiness, laughter, all of that.
Gotcha.
I would say those are my 3.
Gotcha. Now here's another one for you.
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of your life, what could you do 24 hours a day?
The rest of my life, what could I do? Sit on the lakefront with the music.
Okay.
And chill and chill and just chill. Okay. Yeah.
And so mine was similar. Be in chill mode, but listen to house music in various locations.
Yeah.
Have the finest cigars and have the finest tequilas.
There you go. The music and chill is in common. Yeah. And yes, the music will be house music.
Yeah, absolutely. and then I think the other thing I would add to that, right, is I would love to have my podcasting equipment there, because I know I'm going to meet some interesting individuals. And I certainly, I certainly would love to capture that conversation.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So now, where do we, meaning you, where do you go from this now? You're doing so much. What's the next iteration for Pierre?
Okay. Funny you say that. Currently, I work with the Chicago Urban League.
Yes.
I've been there for a year.
Okay.
March 13th made a year.
Yes.
There, I am creating a new program. I can't say too much because it's not out.
Yeah, understood.
But I am single-handedly creating a new program that they have never had, and no urban league in the nation has this type of training program.
Got you.
I birthed it. I put it together.
Yes.
I found partners, sponsors, people who are going to train each class, and I found the funding for it. Wow. So in essence, I created my own position, which is going to definitely make noise when it is announced, because it's first of a kind for any type of Black community organization in the United States.
Now,
and I did by myself.
Now, personal question, right? If you did all that, why'd you have to do that with the Urban League?
Why did I have to? Because I never thought about this until the opportunity came up. Now that I'm doing it with the Urban League, it's my patented program that I can do anywhere now.
So what I would,
but the Urban League is what birthed it.
Yeah,
I can tell you how briefly, real quick.
But let me just share this before you get into that. What I would do now is I would start my own not-for-profit, right?
Yeah.
Create a memorandum of understanding and let them know that this now is a joint venture between your not-for-profit and Urban League.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
you don't even have to be associated with the Urban League.
What was it? Urban League? Yeah. Well, but But you've been there for a year. So while you were working, they've been paying your salary or paying you a commission or paying you a consultant fee.
Correct.
So I'm quite sure when you're making those phone calls and sending out emails, you're using their dime. Yeah,
I'm using their dime. But I'm looking further. I'm saying, say my job at the Urban League ends.
Yeah.
I still can do this program because this is my idea.
No, I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm just saying now you're not so with the memorandum of understanding. You no longer become an employee. You become a consultant or a partner.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And so at any time that you need to break off because you've already got the memorandum in understanding in writing, you can go ahead and do that. That's all I'm saying to you,
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Now that's thinking out the box. That's what's up.
That's thinking like an entrepreneur, right?
That's right. That's right. That's one entrepreneur talking to another.
Yeah, because
listen to how this was. Go ahead.
I want to just share this with you real quick. If you Harvard University, right?
Yeah.
You look at a lot of their endowment funding, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from their creation. So, for example, if you are a scientist and you create a product or a service while you're on Harvard's campus or their time, they want a percentage or a royalty. Like Bose, the sound system, the speaker system.
Yeah.
That was created on the downtime when a professor was working at Harvard.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So they get a percentage for the rest of their lives. Harvard gets a part of that because they own a part of Bose.
Wow. Wow.
Because think about it. You spend all your time on a college campus, right?
Right.
You come up with another idea, but their thing is, okay, we're glad you came up with that idea, but we want a percentage of it because if it wasn't for you having access to the world's greatest equipment and this wouldn't be where it is. So we want a percentage. And most folks say, you know what, I'm going to make billions of it. I'll give you 10%, 1%, 2%.
Yeah. That makes sense. I see it from both points of view. From the school's point of view, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was saying how the idea was born.
Yes.
When I originally was hired there, it was another position.
Yes.
And I did that for a couple, maybe 3 months, and I didn't like the position and some specifics about it I didn't like anymore.
Yes.
To the point of where I quit.
Yeah. Okay.
I quit.
Yes.
And then the management came to me and said, do not go.
Yes.
You're an excellent worker.
Yes.
We want you to stay.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Yes.
That was $1 million question. And I took a week off to think about it. And when I came back, I told them about the program that I was just explaining to you. And they said, oh, absolutely. This is revolutionary for this industry and for the Urban League, period. No other league in the country has this.
Yes.
Go ahead and do it. So that's how I created my own position.
Wow.
That's a blessing. That is a blessing.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Now, so when does this program come to fruition?
At the present point, we are in finalization of receiving grant funding.
Okay, yes.
Because this is a nonprofit.
Yes.
So that's where we're in the process now of securing funding for the program.
Yes.
I put together a budget and submitted it. And so right now, that's what we're in the process of doing. As I said, I'm a one-person department. It's just me.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just me. So that's what we're doing now. So I would say possibly this is March, maybe the end of this year or first thing of 2025.
Okay.
It should be up and running and ready to go. Maybe that's the earliest.
Yeah.
The winter of this year. At the earliest.
Because you do so much, I can't ask you for long-term projections. I'm just going to ask you, next year, where do you see yourself?
All right. Next year, I'll still be at the Urban League. I'm going to still be writing Go Bang.
Yes.
I will probably write another book.
Yes.
And I may expand to include a podcast with Go Bang. I've been running away from podcasts because I don't like talking so much. You know, I'm more of a writer. I can talk my butt off, but I need to keep up with the times. So I think I need to incorporate a podcast, a video aspect to my magazine. So that's what I see in the next year. I'm going to still be happy. I'm going to still be dancing.
Yo,
you know, that ain't going nowhere. Long as I can walk.
I'm just saying, let's talk offline. There might be a way to collaborate on that, bro.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. It's a blessing to meet you, sir.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing to actually meet you.
Now, you know what came to my mind first of all?
What's that?
The Go Bang picnic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a producer too.
Yeah.
I produce it. Listen, I produce plays, fashion shows, parties, all that kind of stuff.
No,
that is absolutely a great idea, and I know everybody.
And so, but understand why I said that.
Why?
When you talked about how the Chosen Few got started, right? It's grown. It's never too big, right? But sometimes you still want that smaller element about it.
Yeah.
And so because you do know everybody, what would it look like? More importantly, what would it sound like if you did a Go Bang festival or picnic?
Yeah.
You know?
That is beautiful.
And then you started off small with the understanding that you don't want this to get bigger than 25,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, but because again, in the House Music Festival in the season, I think the season starts like unofficially. It's like that Memorial Day weekend is usually like the House Music Festival unofficially. But the Chosen Few is the oldest. I think the Soul Summit in Fort Greene Park is the second oldest.
Yeah, I went to that before.
I try to go every year. It is so amazing.
I only went once.
And what folks fail to realize is that they get upwards of 10, 12, 15,000 people.
Wow.
And you don't have one incident.
Yeah. That's exactly how it is with just the house community. Yep.
Yeah. And then I was talking to Tommy Davis from Baltimore. He does Baltimore House, right? And matter of fact, his episode is going to drop today, and I'll tag you in that link so you can hear his episode.
Absolutely.
But he's one of the original persons for Collective Minds, and they've been going for about 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back to Jersey. There's another one called I forgot the name of the group, but that's Anthony Smith. And I forgot the name of it, but they've been going for over 18, 19 years.
Wow.
House, but clearly the Chosen Few is the largest. And so what's that? What, 21, 22 years?
They've been right now they started in 90.
Okay.
So 2000, 2010, 2020, that's 34 years.
What? Okay, there you go.
Yep,
there you go.
1990 is when they started.
And then Soul Summit's been doing like 20, 21?
Okay.
21, 22. Collective Minds about 20 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I could see a smaller one coming out. Go Bang House Music Festival, right?
Yeah, you sparked something in me with that.
But now check this out. What you got your DJ booth on the stage, and then off to the side in the soundproof area, right? You got your podcasting equipment. So as the DJs come up before they spin, they give you a little interview on the podcast. Or as you see people in the crowd, you tell them to come over to the secluded booth because it's all insulated.
Yeah.
And they just give you a little, just a little rip of what's going on in their lives, right?
Yeah.
And so and the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I've been thinking about doing that for some of my events, just taking my podcast equipment out there, setting it off to the side. And so as people come out, I can just get a little rip of what they're thinking and just go from there, right?
Yeah. That's an excellent idea, man.
Yeah. We got to get you here to Trenton. We got to get you open up that restaurant.
Yeah. That sounds like a plan, man.
Oh, my God. Listen.
Wow.
Brother, you've got
this has been fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. You've got so much energy. I love it, brother. I love it. I love it. So once again, tell everybody the magazine of choice that they need to be following.
They should definitely, most absolutely get banged by listening and going to Go Bang magazine.
Yes.
You can find it at Go Bang, that's GOBANG, magazine.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get banged.
Yes, sir. Brother Pierre, any final words, man? Because I can keep going. You are so informative and so enthusiastic. Come on, man. Talk to me.
I appreciate that, man.
Any final thoughts you want to
thank you.
Yes.
I want to thank you, first of all, for finding me.
Yes.
You found me.
Yes.
Thank you for finding me. It's an honor and a privilege to be on your show.
Thank you.
This is the beginning of a friendship that is going to be beneficial, entrepreneurial-wise, and just spiritually. Yeah. You know what I mean? Personally.
Now, I want to ask you a personal question.
Yeah, what's up?
So we're on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the Go Bang magazine, and I think I liked or followed it, right?
Okay.
What was it? Because again, there's so much scam going on social media. What was it in terms of what I said or my energy that you were willing to take a chance and say, "Here's my number. Let's talk." Even though I asked that I want to interview you for a podcast interview. What it was is being a journalist, I do research. Yes.
And I researched and saw your production.
Yes.
And because at one point I didn't know the production and you were the same people.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
The worthy one.
Yeah,
what's the exact name?
Worth One Productions.
Worth One. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But then once I got your last name, I said, well, that makes sense. Worth, But I saw what you were doing, and I saw how successful that you are and how passionate you are. I listened to your podcast. You sent me a link to one, and I liked your style. I liked your energy, and I saw that you're passionate and you're sincere and enthusiastic with what you do.
Thank you.
And that's how I am. So I said these energies match.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Appreciate that. And and I do so much. So I've got my personal page, which is Kevin Wortham.
Okay.
I've got the podcast page, which is the Entrepreneurial Enclave page. I got Worth One Productions, right?
Come on.
And then I have Minding Our Business, which is a not-for-profit that I run.
Wow.
And then I also have a private cigar group called the Cigar Networking Group. Yeah.
Okay, you're a busy man.
Yeah, but not as busy as you though, because I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't produce.
That's okay. You're doing it another way.
Absolutely.
You're doing it another way.
Yes.
Man, congratulations
to you, brother.
Man.
Yeah. So I digress, but give me your final thoughts, man, because you can how much time you got, man?
I'm free today. We can talk. But we don't want to kill people's ears. We don't want to keep it. Leave them wanting more, not wanting you to get off.
But you know what though? I did a podcast. I did one probably about a year and a half ago, right?
Oh, okay.
It was 2 hours.
Oh,
And so they said, Kev, do you want to stop? I said, no. I said, let's do the whole thing, and then let the listening audience decide when they want to stop it, but they can always come back to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I agree with you, though. Right. So once we talk offline, we may have some more stuff to share with the listening audience, so we'll come back again. But I'm going to give you the platform for final thoughts. But let me do this real quick. I'm going to play around with my machine.
All right.
I've been trying to find the hand clap and the applause clap button for the longest because this interview has been fantastic. So I wanted to make sure I got that in there.
That's what's up.
Brother Pierre, you have been fantastic. But give me your final thoughts, man.
All right. My final thoughts are everyone is a creator. Everyone is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You have to be your biggest fan.
Yes.
Because when you're trying to do something, no one sees your vision better than you.
Yes.
You have to listen to your inner voice, and you got to put blinders on and just march towards what are you trying to do.
Yes.
You have to just sit down and think about what do you like to do.
Yes.
And then find out how you can make money doing that, and you'll never feel like you're working because you're doing something that you highly enjoy.
Yes.
So trust in God or whoever your higher power is.
Yes.
Trust in yourself. Never give up, and your dreams can come true. The end. Motivation.
Said like, spoken like a true entrepreneur with multiple positionings going on.
Thanks, man.
Brother Pierre, you have been fantastic, man. Right?
Kevin, I appreciate this.
Yeah. Nothing but continued success. I'm gonna just kind of share with the listening audience today, as soon as we get off, that I had a wonderful interview with you, and to stay connected to me so that when the episode drops, and I want to try to make sure it drops before your birthday, if not sooner, because your birthday is on the 19th, right? April.
Yeah, April 19th.
April 19th. So we're going to try to see if we can't get that to schedule it to get it to drop before the 19th, man. Right?
Oh, that'll be a dope birthday.
Yeah. So listen, beloved, nothing but peace, love, and house music. Thank you. And let's stay connected, and we'll talk offline.
Absolutely, sir.
Right.
Again, thank you again, and I want to interview you for Go Bang Magazine.
But that's gonna be hard because I don't like writing, man.
We gonna get it going. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way.
Got you. Maybe I'll get a ghostwriter to write my answers. There you go.
There you go. We'll work it out. Thank you again.
All right, beloved. Talk in a minute, man.
All right. Take care.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.